that like?
You're still a little too close. There was like one time when you changed the settings that it was better. Like
Like a
last
different
time.
time?
Yeah.
I haven't changed it since where it was since last time.
I mean, that's okay there.
So I could just stay back here
That's great.
You think so?
and the volume's good. What do you think?
Keep talking, Doug.
All right, so today I rode a horse and I walked my cat, and then we went to the gym. But it
Your
was
cat or
weird
your horse?
both. Like I rode with my cat, rode the horse to the gym, but then we got there and they said no pets allowed, and I was like,
Okay.
but this
Can
is
you
my
hold the mic a
friend.
little further away?
Okay. All right, how's this?
No, you're like way too far. You gotta move your body closer.
Oh,
Yeah.
you just playing me. Nadia, I don't want to hear any more feedback from you.
It's just, what's wrong with your mic, bro? You gotta adjust the settings. Something's up.
She was
Okay.
messing with you, but yeah, it doesn't sound. Yesterday you didn't have anything and it was better, and then it doesn't sound like the mic is helping for some
Yeah, I
reason.
agree.
Okay, I lowered the gain. Does that do anything for us?
Oh, I think that's way better.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that is better.
Okay. So I can be right. I can be here. I can
Yeah.
Yeah, lower the gauge all the way though. Can you lower
just-
it more?
It's just kind of like raspy at the end.
Yeah. Lower it a little bit more.
Okay, lowered a little more.
That's good. I think that's
This is
good.
good
Keep
right
talking.
here.
Talk about the cat.
So, okay. All right.
So your
So
horse.
the cat. They wouldn't let me in with the cat, but then they were like, "It's cool if you park your horse here," but then the cat wasn't allowed in. So I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yo, this is my bro. We always hang out. You guys have
Yeah.
seen him here before."
Yeah.
All
No,
right.
that's good.
That's good. It's good.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's really good.
I started my LLC, guys, today.
Oh, nice.
Ooh.
I have an official bank account now for an
No
We should probably talk about that, like how to do that, because I need
That'd
to
be
know,
good.
and everyone needs to know.
I agree.
Perfect. I just applied for my business credit card, so it's on its way. I can't wait to spend money.
Is
Well, that's
this for you to be able to like do little gigs, like independent contractor gigs, or what?
Correct. Yeah, for like just my like Instagram stuff.
Oh, nice. Can I spend
So
money with
is
you?
it called I Am Dr. Nadia Enterprises?
It's called I Am Dr. Nadia LLC.
Oh,
I was on to something. I was on to something.
So I have my credit card says I am Dr. Nadia.
that is so cute.
Interesting.
So interesting.
JD,
Everyone's
what's up?
mic's
How's
doing
your
well
day?
today.
I think so. JD, where's the glasses?
Put some contacts on today.
Nice.
Wow, really bringing it out for the podcast today, JD.
Yeah. It's a nice
Totally,
switch up.
Just watch out. Huh?
IQV Oasis transitions.
No, I got stigmatism.
Wow.
Yeah, those are spheric only, huh?
I'm fighting with them transitions, so
Oh, yeah, you still are?
Are we all
Yes.
not in it?
No.
Are we all-
JD's in it.
I think only JD is, yeah.
Wait, they already picked everyone?
They did.
Oh,
Oh, he just switched.
Why is
He
this
switched
camera?
squares.
Wait, he can still
His-
hear us, though.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just messing with you. I was having a transition meeting. Of course, you guys weren't invited, so that's why you weren't there. You know.
wow. Can somebody kick him out of the chat?
Oh
Yeah.
Yeah.
no, let's have fun.
I
Yeah,
think-
mute
I like
his ass.
invented you. You know
Mute
what I mean?
his
Like,
ass.
let's not even.
I'm about to mute your ass.
Should
bro.
we do like we should have like a
Wow,
podcast that's like
wow.
behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I
this
put him
is
in
all
the
it.
wait. I put him in the waiting room.
You can do that? Yes. Kick his ass out of here, man.
Let him wait.
Put him in the dungeon.
I put him back.
Yo, I didn't know you could do that.
I didn't either.
Wow.
How did it feel? How did it feel to be put back in the waiting room?
Wow. I still can't even turn on my video.
He's banned from video.
Sorry.
Dang.
What you get?
I don't want to start it now.
How was that meeting now? Tell us all about how your meeting was. This is great.
Dang,
I'm
bro,
gonna
I'm
just-
sorry. I'm not a part of that. That's all them, bro.
Yeah, sorry, that was me. I was messing with the controls.
I'm just doing my
I
eyebrows. I
give
don't know
you a
what's
lot of
happening.
power here.
Yeah, that was cool. I didn't know I could do that.
That's pretty cool.
Is
Put
this
your
behind
ass-
the
I'm
scenes
gonna
part of
put
the
your ass in the
podcast
waiting
or
room.
Yeah.
behind the podcast?
Yeah.
Behind the
A
cast.
banana?
Oh, the in depth, in depth of in the depths, in the depths,
In the depths.
In the depths of the depths of in depths of Johnny depths.
Okay, Johnny Depp.
What about
Wait,
my
so what are we
amazing-
doing today, guys?
What about my amazing British accent from earlier? That was
You,
fantastic.
you,
Oh,
you
that
won't
was
have to whip
great.
that out again.
Nadia, tell everybody, what are we doing today in your British accent?
All right. Today we'll be discussing. What are we doing today? Networking? I forgot already.
Oh, you forgot? Wow.
But in the accent. In the accent.
I only know how to do the Parent Trap. I'm sorry. I start over from the beginning.
Okay.
You can start there.
Okay. Hal, I'm desperate. Dad's getting married. What are you getting married? In black eye, gown, hole and shutter. What? The waiting 2 weeks. So if there's any hope of getting mom and dad back together, of course to do it fast. I mean, really, really fast. Okay. Mom and I are going to the theater first thing in the morning. I forgot what she says.
That was good.
Thank
What?
you.
We're sisters with the same?
Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. That's what they say next.
That's the movie, no?
Right. That's the whole movie.
Why is there peanut butter on my Oreo cookies?
Oh my God. Only twins like Oreos on their peanut butter cookies, JD.
Nobody gets what's going on right now, but I pay that you do.
Everybody knows what's going on right now.
I don't think they do.
It's from the.
I see them both looking left and right.
I'm gonna start looking up and down.
And that's
It
been
was
in
past their
depth
time. It
with
was
depth
past the bed's time.
perception.
What?
It was past your time. This movie.
My time?
Oh,
Parent Trap?
earlier I said that and they were like, oh, shoot, the Parent Trap. So they know.
Yeah,
I know
we
what
know
movie it
the
is.
Parent Trap. I don't know if you know. I definitely know.
I know. I watched it. I just don't remember the peanut butter and cookies.
We're gonna watch
Yeah.
that transition, so then you'll know. Oh wait.
Oh,
Put him back in the waiting
Put his ass back in the waiting room, man. Get out of here.
We all time out.
Get his ass out of here, man.
Yeah, let him bring him back before he gets mad.
I think this should be the podcast, actually. Okay, you know what? Let's just keep going. I think we should just keep all this and just
Okay.
now start talking about networking. Clearly, we're talking about how we network.
We've already
at
talked about
Transitions
networking.
Academy. No, we haven't talked
Okay.
about it yet. This is our first time,
Oh.
bro.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, we haven't.
We talk so much. I don't know what we talked about.
Okay.
Networking.
Let's talk about how kind of goes about our very first intro podcast about how we all met, part of our networking that we did. Speaking of Transitions Academy, JD must be nice. We can all meet in Orlando and just not go to the academy, but just hang out. We could do that.
I don't know. JD
Well,
might be a
since
little
you live
busy.
there, I'm sure that's easy for you. But
Yeah, it's great for me.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a little far.
I'm
for
gonna
me.
meet JD in the lobby and I'll just
a little
be like
far.
hitting up everyone for drinks.
I don't know.
I'm gonna invite myself to the party, the after party. I'm just on the bus.
I think we put him in the waiting
I'm
room. so
sure
many
it's very
times.
doable.
He seems tense.
Great. So what's been everybody's favorite networking event? Okay, let's kind of start. Like
I think
Like,
it
one
was
of them was, like,
Transitions Academy.
memorable. okay, all right.
Yeah.
Transitions hands down. I
JD.
think that's what brought us all here.
Yeah, for real.
JD, favorite. We won't judge you.
I think definitely transitions was fun, but I think going to AOA every year's been really working for me.
JD,
Why
this
is
year when
that?
you went to the AOA, you were only in the exhibit hall.
I was exhibit networking, so
Right, makes sense. Right, caught up.
Like that's where I think going to conferences like AOA are like really helpful, where uh, you can catch up with professors, see what they're up to, ask them for advice. I even got a job. My first job, I'm a doctor from Bakersfield, California. We went out to like a social event. He was casually just throwing out jokes. You should come out here to work. It'd be a great experience. And I take it seriously at the time. We connected, and then little do you know, 2 years later, I'm working for him. So I think there's a lot of good opportunities when you go to these conferences to future opportunities, whether he's speaking at a conference or a job.
For those who don't know, what conference is the AOA?
Academy happens every year around October, November time. This past year, it was in San Diego, and we were all together there, which was awesome.
That was fun.
But yeah, it's based more on research. So there's more research events, and then there's also CE, and then now I think a lot more events about mentorship and the kind of whatever you want to make it to be. They even have your local societies meeting. So I think it's just a great opportunity.
Do you think it's more geared towards doctors though versus like students? I feel like academy, it's like very like, oh, poster this and like, FAO that. I feel like for students, like the AOSA meeting, which one's that one?
Optom meeting.
Yeah, optometry's meeting. That's like it was like a little more fun, I think, to like depends on like what you're trying to outbreak. Felt like optometry meeting, it was cool to meet the students, and then you got to like see students from the other schools. And then for academy, it was more like I was like, let me see what my professor's posters are. It was more like professional, I guess, in a sense. Not that that's bad, but it's
I
just
feel like
it's different.
Academy gives you both though. Like depending on what aspect you want to reach, I think Academy gives you the option to do both. Obviously, it's a little more formal. It's not like super fun. Everything is a fun event, but there are those, you know, receptions that you have, the student bowl that they do. Uh, there's a lot of stuff that's still student oriented and is like really fun as well, where you can have fun and also network with students, not just from your school.
But for Academy, the student bowl's new. So originally, it's part of optometry's meeting. So
Okay.
Academy has since adopted that, I believe. Am I remembering this wrong? It's been a while since I've been to some of those meetings.
Definitely, optometry's meeting I think is more student based, and they've always had a Essler student bowl. They had a student bowl this year at Academy also, and I think they usually do have some type of student event. But definitely optometry's meeting I think is definitely geared to students a lot.
I
Yeah.
went to academy as a first year, and that experience I think was great as a first year just because I did the student fellowship. And for those that are not familiar with the student fellowship, you have to do like I think it's 6 to 8 hours of CE. So it's like the optometrists that need to get CE, you have to go sit in their lectures and listen to whatever lecture it is, whether it's on like disease or pediatrics, low vision. You have to sit in a research thing, you have to go to different events. So to have the student fellowship or just to go to a few lectures was nice because it took me to realize, okay, optometry school is not all about exams, or like it's easy to get into this mindset of it's all school, all exams. I'm just trying to pass an exam, and I kind of saw what optometry could be like after I graduate. I think it was a good
Right. And
experience.
I'll say for me too, I went as a first year, and it was eye opening because uh, even though there's like a lot of stuff that we didn't even know, like as a first year, I was like, oh, like glaucoma, all the stuff about it. Like, like all these lectures, it was cool to like get more insight or just hear more about it, even though you haven't been fully exposed to it yet. And I think that's one of the cool things about it, like doing it early, getting your foot in the door of being exposed to learning about new things.
Yeah, I think
And
that
just no, go ahead.
I just think that like as students we have these opportunities. Like I don't know about your schools, but for ours, like a county, it was like blocked out because a lot of the professors would go, and so we had the time off to do that. And for optometry's meeting, it's like in summer, so they would always have like that time for us to go to that. So I think utilizing those events too while you're a student kind of helps you network in that sense. And so if I was a student, I mean, I was a student. But if I had to go back, I'd go to more of those things. I remember that I was like, I'm not going to the Academy in Orlando. I'm already from Orlando. I've already seen it. But, I kind of wish I went because that was fun. And everyone was like, oh, we went to Disney together. And I kind of missed out on that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was
So,
my first year.
yeah, no regrets because, I was tired and I didn't want to travel all the way from California back home for like the week because I was already coming back. But just coming to those events and hanging out with your classmates, it's just different. And when you're in the classroom versus if you like go to these conferences together, it's a little more chill. You can get to know everyone a little bit better. So you're hitting the grind, but in a different way. You know what I mean?
I think main thing is like knowing like what your goal is and like where you are. So like as a student, if you're like, look, I just want a vacation, I want a break, and I'm getting time off, great. Just learn about it, relax, go there, do that. If you're a new graduate, I think it's still helpful because you can either look for potential opportunities in your local area. Maybe it's a fill-in one, maybe it's a full-time one, or maybe one day you need to run a business and then you met doctors in the area and you need to hire them. And I think that's great. And then learning laws, regulations are really important. Like some states are now getting SLT. So this is how you keep up with that. And then also I think CE is helpful, not aside from the fact that you need it for your license, but also like you can kind of like pick CEs based on how you practice. And like that really is helpful. It's one thing to like learn it in school and then apply it, but then to relearn it after you're applying it every day, it's like, wow, I know how to do that, see that patient a little quicker, what to look for, or focus in on. I think just what your true goals are important.
Right. And just going back to going and being exposed to it early as a first year, second year, it's good because you're starting to gauge what you're interested in. So based on all the different subjects and like different classes, lectures, posters, things that they have, you're able to pick and be like, all right, hey, there's this sports vision thing. I'm interested in that. Let me see what they're talking about. Oh, there's this thing on myopia management. Let me see what that's about. So it helps expand your horizon and just like helps you gauge and learn what you might be interested in, if you might like it or not, and to not to expand upon that once you graduate.
Yeah, when I go, I like going to the booths, like, and seeing like what all the new technology is, and like the reps are helpful, and they always let you like do stuff like the new four opters. We would always go and like check them out, or like the new OCT machines or the new whatever. So it's nice to like have the reps explain that to you too, because sometimes in school we have like machines, but it's not like the latest and greatest, so it's nice to kind of see what's out there too in a way. And like that's kind of how I connected with Keeler too. Like I just went to their booth and then I was like, hey, are you guys doing any student like ambassador things? And so like I just kind of networked in that way too. So I always take cards at conferences. I don't know if you guys like made like business cards, right?
No, I didn't.
No. Okay, you need to make some
My
business
my
cards.
my
I would
ones
take
from
all of my
AOA or AOSA, they never came. So like I never had any.
Okay, well, you need to write a very strongly worded letter.
I might have to.
Yeah.
It's fourth
'Cause I
year and I
heard
never
you can
got them.
get free
Still
ones,
I
waiting.
made my
right?
own. I think I went to like Vistaprint
Yeah.
and they were like $13 for like cards, and they were like, I don't know, they were like pink. They have like, I don't know.
Wait,
Back
but
in
you
the
can get
day, I
free
thought it was
ones
cute. Anyway,
by like the AOSA.
That's what I mean.
from
Yeah.
AOS,
That's what I
from
mean.
AOA, I think, right?
I
AOA.
applied for that or whatever, and I never got them. Still waiting 4 years
Oh,
later.
oops.
Nice. Well, you should apply again.
AOSA, get it together. What y'all doing?
Anyway, you can go to Vistaprint, make your own for $15. So
That's a lot.
would
I like free.
recommend.
They actually
Same, I like
have
free.
they have like online ones where you make one on your phone and then you scan it if anybody ever wants your information.
Oh yeah.
Oh
Everyone's
yeah,
doing
like
that now.
Like Q
yeah,
codes or
scan the
something.
QR code.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so I mean like it's a great way if you're trying to do something to like knock yourself, if you're trying to do
So
whatever.
Nadi, you mentioned booths. What are some of your guys' favorite booths that you've been to or went to?
Back in the day, I don't think they do this anymore, but they used to let us try on contact lenses at the booths. I think it's like
At the booth?
yeah, I think it's become like a thing where they can't do that anymore.
Yeah, that doesn't sound very COVID friendly.
This was pre-COVID. Okay, some of us went to school before COVID. So
Hey, I
They go
started
and
school
try on
before
like
COVID.
the colored lenses, and like
Oh,
J and
wow.
J would have like the new torics or whatever they like had at the time, so that was fun. I always like going to the SLR booth because they always have like that new 4-opter with the lens, like the liquid lens. I don't know, I just think it's really cool, and like I just wanted to play with it, so I always go to that one. I always go where they have like really cool free stuff, like eye drops, because I need some
Free
when I get
stuff. Yeah, shout out to the free eye drops. I always get a
Yeah.
rack
I
of
need
them.
eye drops.
Yeah,
Yeah,
same.
rack it up, man. So I
Refresh.
yeah, Optase.
Actually, at
Yeah, there's
the
like
Boston Academy, what was that, 21? I got contacts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
see?
gave out contacts.
Yeah, they gave like samples. Do you remember what brand that was?
No, I was a baby. I wasn't paying attention to the
Wow, that
contacts.
marketing is so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. I was just like, it's free? Okay.
Yeah.
JD, what about you?
See, the boots are great, and I think getting stuff is great. I think my passion is elsewhere, but I think those are great things to look at too. I think everybody should. I think the networking that I feel like I really appreciate was we obviously are on social media for us, and so like you get those virtual experiences, but then now when you go to the conference in person, you really you really get to know someone on a personal level, which is amazing. And so when you go back home and get that virtual experience, it means so much more when you've already met them in person. And so, now these people and influencers and people you meet at the conference, personally, you can always pick up the phone and call them whenever you need help, or how to negotiate a contract, what job to take, what ideas they may have about what you should do for social media. And so like that's what I love, the friendships and the conversations that you're able to have, because we're all trying to make each other better. Like if someone lives in Manhattan and someone lives in LA, we're not competing against each other. And so that's the beauty of our field. We can make each other better and push each other forward. And I think those friendships start at these conferences and networking.
I also like networking at like local societies. So, I interned. So when I was picking internships, I tried to do things that I knew I was gonna like live in that city. So I did a lot of mine, like a couple of like one was in Orlando, there was like two others in Florida, and then my last one I was like, okay, I'm just gonna do an adventure. But my first one was Dr. Perry's office, and so Dr. Perry. I didn't know this at the time, but I just really wanted to go there because somebody I knew had gone there and they said it was a thing. He is like the facilitator of Vision Source for like the Central Florida area. And if you guys don't know what Vision Source is, it's like a bing group, but it's like a networking kind of thing too. So as soon as I was out of school, I like reached out and I said, "Hey, do you know anyone who's hiring?" And of course, he networked with all these doctors and stuff. And so he got me my job out of school because he's like, "Oh, such and such, this person's looking, that person's looking." So, having those relationships too with like your preceptors, if you're like gonna be local, or some people who are trying to like residents, talking to the preceptors at your residence at your internship sites, if you're trying to do residency there and things like that is like that's important because you just never know who knows who.
Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah, optometry is
True.
tiny. So everyone knows everyone.
So,
Just like
what are some
another.
what are some ways to network? We mentioned academy. We mentioned going to different conferences, but what are some other ways?
I
I think,
think in person and a virtual way. So like virtually, I think everybody, whether you started at a conference or beforehand, start a LinkedIn page and Instagram page. I think anytime you meet someone, I would try to add someone on any of those platforms so that they keep in touch with you, they think about you, and then after you meet them, they'll instantly, if you're posting about scleral lenses or you post that you work in a Costco, they'll ultimately connect that and you build that relationship even deeper as you go. And then I think, frankly, just walking up to the booths, shaking people's hand and smiling and have a conversation, asking questions, that's like an easy way to network in person.
I think when it comes
And
to
like
school,
social media.
oh,
No, go ahead.
okay. In a school perspective, I think it's good to network even with your professors. Like, they're not just your professors, building relationships with them. Because one of my professors, like, if we're networking and talking about like residency, one of my professors was like, I'm your professor this semester. Once you get into clinic, third and fourth year, if you don't ever like speak to me again and you're gonna apply to residency one day, what happens is that there's going to be 7 great applicants, and guess who they call? Me. They call me and they're going to be like, okay, how is this student? Da 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 da. And I'm going to say, oh, well, that student was my student for this semester and they never spoke to me again. And like, you're not going to get that residency then. And it's not a thing of like, oh, let me talk to people so I can get into a residency, but it's like, hey, let me build genuine relationships with people so that, you know, like you get to know people, and like you are genuine, you're friendly, it's kind of like setting yourself up. You're letting everyone know who you are, letting your personality show through. And it starts at school. Like we said, everyone knows everyone.
I love that. You hit on basically like it's who you know. Like that's how you're gonna get like jobs and positions. Like building those friendships is so important. That's important.
Yeah, and just talking to everyone, because you never know who's gonna be the person who's gonna change your life. Like who knows? Maybe you know somebody. Maybe the guy who's standing in front of you at the food line or the contact lens line at the conference is gonna be your next ticket to your next job or your next residency. So
So
You're welcome.
let me let me
I know I
ask
changed your
this.
life, so I know that's
Go
where
ahead.
that's come from.
Let me ask this. So, do you guys feel like it's necessary to be intentional with your networking?
no, I'm not really that intentional. You just never know. Like I said, right? Like I don't know. I just picked my rotation. I picked my rotation site, but I didn't know that. I mean, Dr. Perry was gonna. I don't know, so I just kind of did it. Or like, you never know. Like if you go to a booth, they're looking for somebody, like, or they know somebody, or if you're looking for a job, you just mention it to the reps. I feel like the reps know a lot of people. You never know.
That's a good one
JD, what do
too.
you think?
That's a really good one. I don't think it's necessary, but I do think it could help you progress. And I do like what Nadia was saying, like even like let's say you don't go to any conferences and you're working in your office, reps come all the time. And so you communicating with them, treating them respectfully, and then telling them about your needs and what these are, they'll tell you when there's another job open, or they'll tell you when there's a local society meeting. That's a really good point, Nadia.
Svet, what do you think?
I
You think
kind of
it's
took
intentional? You need to be intentional?
I took intentional as a different definition, which I don't know what you really meant by the question. I was thinking intentional, like being genuine. Like I'm not just gonna talk to everyone because I want to build a relationship or I'm thinking about like my future. Like I'm talking to people because I want to get to know people. Like I'm not just trying to like
Mhm.
get ahead. I thought that's the way I took the question.
I think it depends. If you have a goal and you're like trying to do something, then yeah, intentionally go up to someone. Like I know we kind of were like
Yeah.
talking about maybe sponsorships for the podcast at one point. We were like, well, we got to start networking, right? So in that sense, we were like, okay, let's just go do it because we needed something. But when you don't need anything, then it's not really in that sense, unless you're like kind of going for a goal or like if you're looking for a job, then yeah, you're not going to be asking the rep from Texas if you want a job in New York. Like you're going to be going to the intentional like people who are like in the New York area to be asking in a sense. So it just depends on like, what you're for, I guess. If you're just networking to kind of like meet people, then yeah. If you're trying to like get a job, then it's someone else. If you're trying to get sponsored, it's someone else. If you're trying to like get into a residency, obviously things are different. So
Yeah. So
I guess
intentionality
like
has a balance.
for I guess like for me, and I ask that because I feel like I'm not like intentional in terms of like trying to go out and like, all right, today I'm going to talk to like 13 people from these specific things, and I need to like meet them because they have this, I can get that. Like I'm not intentional like that, and by any means, but I've reached out to people like in terms of trying to like see how they did it, and like obviously like through social media you see some people are like doing well, successful, or like in a lane that I'm interested in. Like for example, I reached out to Dr. Alex Corbin because he like sees a lot of athletes in his practice in California, or Danielle Richardson because she's a black female in LA, and like kind of close to where I would be. So just like reaching out to people who kind of like you were saying, Nadia, who are kind of in your area, doing what you are interested in doing as well, and seeing how they came about to doing so. so that you can be able to do like something similar.
Right. And I think that the thing about us is we are on social media, so that's a really big networking thing for me personally. Because like, if a question, I'll post it on my story, and people will like respond, which is great because I just have this like network that I can reach out to. I'm not like never bragging, but you know what I mean. Like you just never
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Like even your friends on social media, they might know somebody. So it's
Right.
oh my god, I'm leaving.
My followers.
But you know what I
It's
mean?
not
Like,
followers, it's
you just
fans.
kind of post and
My fans answer all my questions. Yeah, we gotta have like something, a name for your fans. You know, like I'd say has a beehive. You
wow,
know,
I can't
there's
wait.
all
Yeah,
that.
that's
We
the
gotta
next
we gotta find
podcast.
one
Just
for you.
ideas for my for my fans.
The not nuts.
Wow.
Not even
Nuts.
nuts. The nutties.
Hey, I am one.
The nutties.
But nice.
The nutties. Nutties going crazy
Let's
right
work
now.
on this. Let's workshop this later. I
Okay. But back to networking. What were you saying?
yeah.
I had a good question. Somebody said something. I'm gonna think of my question.
Okay.
What
I
about
had a
some
horse.
benefits? Like I think sometimes it's easy to see,
Oh,
easy to like visualize, like some things that benefit our lives because of networking.
Say that again. What's the question?
What are some benefits you've seen from
um,
networking within the field yourself?
I see. I'm not gonna say, so I'm gonna just.
you can go ask. No, I mean, like you mentioned, JD, there's a lot that can come from it. A lot that you not expect. Like you said, you got a job from just talking to people at one of the conferences. I think even on social media, networking and like building your audience or whatnot can get you certain partnerships, sponsorships, collaborations with brands that can just like help you and help others. So it's definitely helpful. SB, Svet, you got something like anything to add to that?
Yeah, I would say partnerships are a big one. I feel very like blessed to have partnerships that help with a little bit of the help with income during school, right? Because everything's on loans, so that's nice. But on a more personal note, like getting to know individuals, kind of seeing everyone's passions, and I guess it's a little more like of a student perspective. It's like, okay, if this person's doing that, oh, I can see myself doing that. Or like they got here, oh, I can see myself getting there too one day. You know, like I feel very like inspired by everyone that I meet, and I'm like, oh, I can be like that person, or I can be like this, or I can maybe mix the two. Um, I think networking has opened my eyes more to what optometry is. Like we say all the time, like we're not just contacts and glasses. And I think networking helps you realize that.
Yeah, I mean, nobody gets to where they are alone, right? Like we all have had help getting to where we are. I mean, I would have never gone if I had never gone to like Transitions Academy. I probably wouldn't be where I am. Like I probably wouldn't be doing this. I probably wouldn't have my page. I probably wouldn't be where I am in that sense. I wouldn't have gotten the awards that I get, because that the people that I met through that experience when I was like a first year, nobody knew who I was, it was like not a thing. All the men Oh my gosh, guys, all my lights are going out.
Oh,
Hurricane, Florida.
disco. And she's
My
saying we should all go there.
That was
I
God being
know.
like, "Can you shut up?"
Keep it humble.
No, but like the mentors that I met, because Dr. Glover and Dr. Lyerly I met at Transitions Academy the first year, and then like a lot of the people that inspired me to like I was like, oh my god, I want to be the game changer someday. Like all those people were like first generation game changers, and so they would like mentor me and they would help me and they would nominate me. And so like just reaching out and telling people like, oh, I want this too, like how did you do it, kind of like gets you never know, like it gets you where you are. Like one event can change your life.
I love that. So you said
So
partnership, inspiration, mentorship, job opportunities. That's something that's come up. Even getting free CE or free flights to conferences, free drinks. I think that's common. Free drinks and free food.
I like free drinks. I like free drinks.
Sometimes, sometimes at the conference
Grants.
they give like free headshots, which are helpful for like
Yeah.
LinkedIn and pages. I think there's a lot that can come around from it. So it's great that
Oh
we all
yeah. Speaking of headshots, I have one of my friends literally brought like 4 fits to just do and booked 4 times to have 4 separate photo shoots from all, there was like 3 different booths that were doing. So you got to take
Set.
advantage.
Yeah, I wish I took more.
I know. I wish I did too. I only did one this last year.
Same. Same.
You live and you learn.
Yeah.
But hey, let me ask you guys this. Okay, so what do you say for somebody who like they're like an introvert, they don't really like to get out and do like talk and they feel uncomfortable? What do you recommend for them to do in terms of being able to network and collaborate and meet people?
Yeah, for those people, it's a little harder for in person, right? Because sometimes people get anxiety and things like that. So it's easier to like send an email or reach out through LinkedIn, like JD had mentioned earlier, or like any social media like that. So it just kind of depends on what those people are trying to like network to. Like, what are your intentions with your networking? Is kind of like what we talked about, right? Because if you're trying to like do a residency and you like want to network, then you'd reach out to the coordinators, right? But you are gonna call them on the phone. You're gonna like send them an email, you know what I mean? So, or like LinkedIn or something like that. So like utilizing like different avenues, like just your strengths, right? So some people are good writers, so they like are better at emails. I don't like that because I am a better talker, I guess. So I like to call people just for this generation that like phones you, you know, I don't know. So I prefer that, but that's just my personality, right? So other people are like better typing things out, thinking things through, and that's fine. So I get a lot of emails from people. I get a lot of like notes like, hey, can you help me with this? Like instead of like reaching out on my social, they'll send me an email because my, you know, whatever's on there. So
JD, what do you think?
That's a really good question. It's tough with not being able to like personally put yourself in those shoes. I couldn't imagine that situation personally, but I think there are ways for you know, if you feel uncomfortable or introverted to try to make your mark. Um, I would say, look, it's not all about like trying to make the home run in a day. Maybe it's you had one conversation every day out of the conference, or maybe you reach out to friends. Maybe you bring a friend with you trying to talk with someone. I think that sometimes I used to be a little shy when I would go to the booths. So when you have like a couple friends who you spent a couple years with in school or close friends, it just makes it a little more comfortable. So like maybe just bringing someone you're comfortable with to have conversations. That's what makes it more casual. Speaking on the casual note, maybe it's like try to do more of this networking on like social events when they go out to like dinners, things like that. Um, so that'd be my thoughts. Like try to bring someone with you that makes you feel comfortable and at ease.
That's a really good one. Svet, what about you?
I agree with JD and Nadia. I think bringing people with you is a big help. I think that's how I started off in a first year, going with other individuals, and it takes the pressure off. And if you notice that you're a little more introverted, maybe you overthink a little bit, or you don't know what to say, maybe like write out a mini script and have that memorized. Not that you're gonna sound like a robot, but just something a little memorized. You can get like your name.
Hey, hey, my name is Doug, and I would like to see what you have to offer. We're
Yeah.
here at this booth.
Yeah.
But
So
isn't that better? That's still better than saying nothing. You just sitting there not saying anything.
that's true. That's true.
That's true.
You had a script.
Hey, closed mouths
There you
don't get
go.
fed, right?
Whoa.
We're going in
um,
deep.
also there's like
You have a tube
people.
that goes through your nose that feeds you?
I'm saying
Anyways,
closed mouths don't get fed. I guess technically that's a way, but
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
anyway,
Moving on.
there's other people, right? Like, there's people that you can easily talk to and then ask to be introduced. Like, I
Yeah.
think like Ron comes
What do you
to
mean by that?
a lot of the schools, right? I don't know if Ron was
does.
everybody's rep.
Yeah.
Who's Ron for?
I think in SoCal. I mean, not sorry, just California.
No, I
what?
think
What are you
does,
guys
like
talking about?
most. He's like the VSP like school rep, right? Like
Oh.
Ron. That's his name, isn't it? Guys, you're making me question.
You
Yeah,
know,
my
yeah,
he's
yes,
he's
Ron,
visited my
yeah.
school.
Ron. Okay,
They don't care about
anyway.
Puerto Rico, so I have no idea who Ron is.
Well,
Here,
anyway,
Doug, I'm gonna
Ron,
send
shout
you
out
the
to
profile.
Ron.
I have no idea who
So,
that
like,
is.
if I
Come to our
wanted,
school, Ron. IUPR.
I think the East Coast has a different rep. I think it's Samantha. Anyway, we had Ron, and I wanted to go to like a leadership conference, and I was like, and VSP was sponsoring it, and I was like, hey Ron, do you mind reaching out and seeing? So like, I asked Ron to do the talking for me.
Oh,
That's
really?
nice.
A leadership conference? That's
It was like a women in leadership conference because Australia
and,
women in leadership. So, in optometry,
do they have
so-
men in leadership?
I don't
Ron,
know.
do y'all have that? Come on, Ron, put me on.
Don't get me started.
He's joking.
Or
by the way.
Samantha for
Anybody
the East
listening, he's
Coast.
joking. Haha.
That's funny.
We're gonna have to bleep you out. You know what? Put him in the waiting room.
Hey, I'm just
It's
trying
like
to,
podcast
I'm trying to be a
jail.
leader too.
Put him in podcast jail.
Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
Anyway, let's and on that note,
Yeah, this
should we
has been
say
a
our
great
favorite
combo.
events? What was everybody's favorite networking event? This is the last thing we're gonna say.
We already talked about that.
We already said that.
Like
but-
ever. You said Transitions Academy. That was like your favorite ever.
Hey, we're still young
Ever,
bucks.
ever.
Like we've only been to a couple of events.
True.
Most fun
been-
was Vision Expo West, I think, because it being in Vegas. Let's just say there was some diplopia involved.
Diplopia, night myopia.
The Odies on Facebook party is always a time.
I've heard.
All right.
Yeah.
What's our
I
next
think
podcast, guys?
transitions.
Do we know? So fun. Can't wait to find out.
We'll know next week.
And
Put
on
them in the
that note-
comments. What you guys want us to talk about? Let us know. Put them in the comments down below. Email, DM, hit us up.
Perfect. All right.
All right, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Can we
Good
put
night.
Doug in podcast
Peace
jail
out.
now for real?
No way. I don't deserve
Okay.
that.
See ya, Doug. Podcast jail.
Oh, come on.
Bye.
Oh wow, you did it.
I did. I'll bring it back. Poor Doug.
Let him sweat.
That photo.
Oh, look at him. Doug.
Doug, tell me again about how women are not allowed to be leaders in optometry.
Oh my god. I was like, what the fuck is he?
You're muted, Doug.
You're muted, bro.
The disrespect in this room has got to stop.
I muted him.
Are you talking to yourself, bro?
He was just going a little too crazy. I'll wait for him to cool down. I just kidding. Bring him back. He's gonna be mad. Hey, Doug.
Did anybody